Right? Just a little sing-along. Hello. Happy, what is today? I don't even know what date it is. Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
The 12th at the time of recording this.
Of whatever. I don't even
October.
know.
Yeah.
Right? 2022? Sure. I'm not sure what year it is, but excuse me. Now I'm laughing so hard.
Don't die.
Right?
Jason, you can't die on camera. At
least there'll be evidence, right? They'll
mute
know.
First,
mute and die. All right. We are digressing rapidly, which I know will always happen when the magic of Adam and myself come together.
That's true.
So welcome to another installment of our amazing Freedom Summit speaker series. Now officially with the reschedule to January 26th and 27th, thanks to Hurricane Ian. Can't stop us, just moving it back a hair. But it's all good, right? Like it's all divine timing and absolutely perfect. So I am exceptionally pumped for today because I am joined by one of my most favoriteest humans on the planet, the phenomenal Adam Lyons. Adam, how you doing?
Hi. Thanks so much for having me. It's good to see you.
You're welcome. Hi. I was like, wait, you're always filled with words. And you're like, hi.
How you doing? That's pretty much what I've got.
How you doing? Well, you are the dating master. So, right?
Something like
technically, we could get into all the cliches, right? But so for those of you who have not yet grabbed your tickets to our amazing Freedom Summit, head over to beinfluential.com/summit. It's above, it's below, it's all the places. Grab your tickets. But I'm more interested in what Adam's about to share today with what he's going to be talking about at this phenomenal event. So first, take a moment and introduce yourself if there's anybody who's been under a rock and doesn't know who you are.
My name's Adam Lyons. In the last 3 years, I have consulted for or myself have acquired over 1,900 companies. I am in the mergers and acquisition space. I specialize in scaling companies through rapid growth, increasing revenue. To give you an idea, there was a company that came to me last year. They did $400,000. This year we did 3.9 million so far, with still many months to go. That's the kind of results I like to get for people. I myself currently have 16 companies that range from an agency that has done for you sales through to a brick and mortar Dungeons and Dragons shop, through to a whole bunch of other things. So yeah, that's me.
I love it. Well, and I think that's such a great segue into understanding who you are and what you're about, because it's really more about the Dungeons and Dragons side of things, or the fact that of all the people that I know, you're one of the people who leads with fun and play in everything that you do, right? Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that I think you and I, why we connected. So we're like, oh, you're my people.
You're a child.
We're just running around, giant adult versions of inner children running the show. And yet that is what's allowing us to create massive impact and success in the world. And so I would love for you to share a bit about what you're going to be talking about at the Freedom Summit.
So yeah, the main thing that I want to talk to everybody about is how to balance being successful with actually having fun. So I have 16 companies, but I also have 5 children and a fiance. And I work with my fiance, who's the vice president of my companies. Many people say you can't work with a loved one. We've been together 10 years. So far, it hasn't caused any problems. I think we've had exactly 2 arguments during that time. 2, I can count them on like half a hand. And that's, and one of them was about the wedding. So I feel that doesn't count because it was nothing to do with business. So the reason I want to share this is because I meet people all the time that say, I'm so busy, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't have time to play. But we do. We play Dungeons and Dragons every week. We play Magic the Gathering. I play video games with my children. I built my children a giant Nerf war arena, like an acre. giant Nerf war arena where they play Nerf outside, and I play with them. We'll make videos about it. I am a massive hobbyist. I taught myself to paint. I've won silver medals, no gold medals yet. I've won a few silver, but no gold. I'm very upset about it, but I will get gold one day. But yeah, I am on a mission to just enjoy life. One of my favorite little games, actually, and Stacey, I think you'll love this. If you had the opportunity to have the same net worth as Warren Buffett, would you take it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. What if, in order to have it, you also had to be as old as he is? Would you still take it?
No.
Right. Because inherently, we all know we value time over money. And yet, how many people spend all their time getting money?
Most.
I don't. I spend my time doing things I love. And
You do.
Make money.
I love it. Well, and that's the thing, right? I think everybody wants this idea of balance. And I know you and I are kind of the same thing where it's like balance is bullshit. This is about creating harmony with a lifestyle that allows us to impact the world and create a legacy. Right. I mean, I've seen your Nerf war videos, and it's with your business partners. It's with your clients in as much as it is with your family and your kids, and really creating something so similar to what I've been spending the last few years creating myself, working with my husband, working with my mom in my businesses, working with people that I love and adore and consider family, and creating this way of living and leading that it's not an either or, it's all together. Like, we're just doing it together and having fun. And yes, you know, you can take the business trips and have fun and do all of this stuff. So I feel like for you, it's a master of integration of all the things that are important to you.
I love that. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's to me, that's kind of what it is. You know, you got to make sure that that you do have this complete interaction and seamless connectivity between what you love doing and making money from it. Like, you don't want to spend your whole life chasing cash to eventually be able to spend it and then not have the energy to spend it. I always tell people, like, life goes through 3 cycles. First, you have all the time in the world and no money. And then you have all the money in the world and no time. And then lastly, you have all the money in the world and all the time in the world, but no energy.
Boom.
Right? So for me, I've got the energy. So I spend all my energy doing the things that I want to do, and I make money from it. Now, here's what I want to challenge, though, because I think a lot of people don't do things they want to do. They do things that are easy. And that's not the same. It's easy to doom scroll on social media. It's easy to binge watch a documentary. But neither of those things. If I said to you, do you want to binge watch a show on Netflix or spend a month in Fiji? Which would you want?
Month in Fiji.
Right. And yet people will instead spend time doom scrolling or watching Netflix. For me, I'm going to take that trip to Fiji and watch Netflix on the flight. And because you can download it, right? So I'm doing everything, just to be clear. I'm not going to pick and choose. I'm going to do it all. But so the way my brain works is like, okay, I want to spend a month in Fiji. What would I need to do in order to do that? So I'm going to share with you not what I did, but what one of my friends did. One of my friends contacted a diving school it was actually Thailand, not Fiji, but the concept would be the same. And he said to them, do you need any diving instructors that speak English? And they said, yeah. And he said, if I fly out there, would you teach me how to get my diving certification so I can be an English diving instructor for you? And they said, yeah. Now, that was a single phone call that he made. He then flew out to Thailand and he became a diving instructor for 2 years. While he was there, making money as a diving instructor, living off of tips, he started an online business to just do something in the spare time, which ended up making more than enough extra income that he could live a good life in Thailand. And then he started martial arts. While in martial arts, a lot of English speaking people from around the world would come to the martial arts studio to train because they wanted to learn kickboxing, or Thai kickboxing, specifically Muay Thai. In doing so, he connected with more business owners that helped him grow his online business. After 2 years, he had so much money, he quit being a diving instructor, moved back to America, where now he's a millionaire. All because he chose to be a diving instructor instead of watching Netflix. I always take the choice to do the thing I want to do and then think, how can I make that happen? Or how can I get paid to do that thing? I remember when I was younger, I was really into video games, like crazy. I'm not so much anymore. I kind of grew out of it, but I was really into video games. And I was like, I really want to get paid to play video games. So I would contact video game magazines, video game TV shows, and ask if they needed somebody to play games. And one of my first jobs was actually as a video game player, recording footage of myself playing games that they could use for trailers and like on screen. They need somebody to actually push the buttons. I was the guy. I just hit record and play the game, push stop. I had to play 60 games a week, probably why I don't like playing video games anymore. But that was my job. So you can always get paid to do the thing you love. Mm-hmm. And now you're only ever doing things you enjoy. And then the next part is working out, okay, well, now I'm doing that. How can I get paid even more?
I love that. I love that so much. And, you know, the magic of getting in the room, especially with someone like you, with this being the way in which you exist in the world, like it's just a way of being for you. This becomes effortless. That when you and I were chatting and I was talking about, well, I need to start getting more of the nutritional IV drips. And you were like, all right, how can we monetize this into an experience where you're there for that 30 minutes to an hour and it turns into a way in which people get access to me and basically whether it's problem solving, coaching, support, whatever it is. And it was so amazing. And so you're just this flood of genius ideas like that because you're an outside the box thinker, you know, I mean, just rules don't exist for you. And that's the type of support and guidance that most people need, right? Because it's easy for us to be down in the trees and you're always observing it from above the forest. And it's so fantastic. And so anybody attending the event, having the opportunity to be in the room with you, especially as a VIP, getting that access is going to be huge. Any of that exposure, that time with you in any capacity is always amazing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. And I think, you know, I always tell people there is nothing that beats being in the right room. Nothing, right? Because the connection you make, like I was in Bakersfield yesterday, which I don't know if you've ever been to Bakersfield, don't, is my summary.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I've heard.
Yeah, like wow, like I've been to a lot of places. I've never been, but you know, I was paid an amount of money to go to Bakersfield, so I went. Mm-hmm. And at Bakersfield, there was another person there who was a billionaire who we were there for a real estate event, and he's a billionaire. And I wanted to go to sleep because I traveled to Bakersfield and there was nothing to do. And I heard that the billionaire was going drinking because there's nothing to do in Bakersfield. And I don't drink, well, very rarely. I drink like maybe once a year. And I decided I was going to get completely wasted. And so, and this isn't good business advice, by the way, this is just Bakersfield. So I go out and I'm drinking and me and the billionaire bump into each other in a bar. Now we're both going there for the same event. So this was highly likely to happen. I didn't have his contact. We just bumped into each other. It was pretty obvious because there was nobody else in any bars because it's Bakersfield. And so we bump into each other and my drunk me says to him, so what are you working on now then? And he outlines this big thing that he's doing. And drunk me suddenly says, you know what I would do? And I'm guessing billionaires don't often have people say, you know what I would do? Yeah, but like, of course, drunk me knows everything. So I was like, here's what I would do. And so I give him a strategy. Well, his COO was next to him, not drunk. And the COO says, that's really smart. And I was like, of course. The alcohol is very clever. And so me and the billionaire keep laughing and drinking. And I think I did 15 shots of vodka just to put in perspective how much I was drinking.
For
And
the
so-
non-drinker, like, I mean, that's a lot. If you
I
drink
am
once a
half
year.
Irish. I just want to be clear. I'm half Irish. So
Okay, so it's genetic. You're good.
right. So the COO then messages me in the morning and says, would you like to meet? No, the night before, would you like to meet for breakfast? I was like, yeah, sure. He goes, I want to talk to you when you're not drunk and hear what you have to say. Basically, to see if you're full of shit or not. So in the morning, they want to meet at 7 a.m. So I'm like, sure. So I get up and turn up. And the billionaire turns up and he's like, he does not look good. And I'm me, so I'm all bouncy and everything. And he goes, the billionaire looks at me and goes, I hate that you have so much energy. And I was like, well, we don't all get up early in the morning and go for a marathon run, which is what I'm guessing you did, seeing as how tired you look. And he's like, yeah, sure, that's what I did. I was like, yeah, I can tell. You clearly got a massive session in the gym today. And otherwise, why else would you look rough? I hope it's not because you can't handle your liquor, Mr. Billionaire. And so he's like, I really hate you. And I was like, you're just jealous because I've got more money than you. And he laughed. So that was the joke that we had. So we started having this joke about, who has more money. And I kept telling him clearly I have more money, which obviously isn't true, but it's funny. So the COO then asked me to outline my plan. So I outlined the plan over breakfast, sorry. And so they say to me, can you execute this? And I say, yeah, but I won't do it for money. I want a piece of the pie or I'm not interested. And so they told me how many shares of the company they'd be willing to give me to do this. And it worked out to be $100 million, Stacey. This was yesterday morning.
Wow.
And I didn't react, I stayed calm. And I was like, look, the reality is, if you want to just pay me 25 grand for a consultation, I'll tell you what to do and you can do it yourself. You don't need to give me, I want to be clear, you don't need to give me this. And they say, the fact that you just said that makes us want to give it to you even more. Mm. So I'm like, well, if you're interested, you got my number, call me in a week and we can talk details, what it would look like, So is it going to happen? I don't know, Stacey. I don't know if I just made $100 million worth of equity or not. That's the truth, right? There's no guarantees in life. And now they're sobering up. The COO was sober the whole time. But who knows? Here's what I do know. If I wasn't in the room, it would not have happened. Because I have never sat in my living room watching Netflix and had a billionaire walk in and say, let's go get drunk together. So an event like yours, for anyone who's listening, is a place to get in the room. And even if I don't get $100 million in equity, you probably want to listen to myself and all the other speakers about how we have people offer us $100 million in equity over a drunken night out. Because that's the power of being in the right room and having influence.
Touche, my friend. Touche. Well, and that's the thing, right? I mean, there's so many different events and they're filled with high caliber people. Along with that, what you just shared, why do people need to make it a point to get to this one? What makes this one different? Because you are on the circuit right now. You are pulling nonstop, back to back to back to back speaking, all the things. You are an events master at this point right now. So
yeah, I did. I've done 4 events in the last week.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going
I just
to one,
saw you speak.
I'm going to one in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just finished a virtual one before this. And then I'm going to one tomorrow. And then I don't have one on Friday, but I'm doing a consultation with an agency that's like 90 million. And then I have one on Saturday.
There you go.
So I'm always in the right room.
Mm-hmm.
And I've made it so I get paid to go into the right room because that's the highest level. But in order to get that, I had to pay to be in the right room. And for me, there are 2 types of rooms. There are the rooms that everybody goes to, and then there are friends. The friends rooms are the smaller events that have the bigger names. So the event I was at yesterday was a few hundred people. Mm-hmm. The event I was in today a few hundred people. The event I was in 2 weeks ago, 7,000 people. The event I'll be at Thursday is like 600 people. Your event, it's probably going to have just under 100 at my guess.
Yeah, we're looking at 100 to 150, depending on kind of how we navigate the bonuses. We keep it nice and intimate.
And that's the key. I'm going there because I have friends there. Mm-hmm. It's not because you're paying me 25. You're not paying me 25 grand, right? Right. That's what I normally get paid. I assume you're not paying me. No, I'm doing it because you're a friend, and I'm hoping you are going to wire me the 20. No, I'm joking. I'm not doing it for money, and that's the point. Because the friend events are ones that we go to because we care about the person running the event. And when you care about the person running the event, you care about the people at the event actually getting results, right? When I spoke in front of the 7,000 people, that's an ego event. It's a vanity event. I do it because I want to stand in front of 7,000 people and I want them to want to buy my stuff. When I'm coming to see you, I just want to hang out with you and nerd out. And when your clients or when the attendees at the event are asking you things, I want to make sure they get the help they need because we want to support our friends. So to me, that's the difference. This event is what I would call a friend event. It's an event that some very impressive people are going to just because of you, Stacey, and how awesome you are. And we like listening to you. And for anyone who has access to you, but is choosing not to elevate that access to be in the same room, you're missing a point. And as someone who is paid, I mean, Ryan Stewman is flying me on a private jet. I'm not paying him. He's paying to fly me on a private jet to go and spend a weekend in Vegas with him and speak at an event in Vegas. That's all out of Ryan Stewman's pocket. But that came about because I put money in Ryan Stewman's pocket a while ago to get him to help me because I wanted to be in the right room. So you have to pay to play. You have to pay to walk in that room, and you have to stand out by adding value, by getting to know people, by making friends. And before you know it, people are asking you to be in the room, and the room is the right room because you're in it. And I'm blessed that at this point in life, if I'm in the room, it's considered the right room. And people will pay to put me in the room. So I know your event is the right room because I'm in it. And I don't say that from an egotistical point of view. I say it because people pay me to go into the room to make the room the right room.
It just is, right?
Right. And any room you're in, Stacey, as far as I'm concerned, is the right room. So
thank you. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, there's no point following you if you're not going to actually hang out and get to know you, right? So everyone that's listening, if you've watched this far into the video and you didn't get bored of me, you should be signing up like instantly or already have your ticket.
Exactly. Well, and I think, you bring up such a great point. The relationship, the social capital, and the relationship currency really here, right? That we're investing in with each other. The fact that I know when I'm in the room, it's the right room. The fact that when you're in the room, it's the right room, because people like you and I are so selective about where we invest our social capital in terms of building those relationships, because that's really what has allowed us to become so successful and impactful in the world. It's about the relationships. So it's awesome to go to the 20,000 seat events or the 7,000 seat events. That's great. However, when it comes to truly getting an ROI, being in these small rooms where you get to nurture and develop these deep connections and relationships and actually get access to people you wouldn't normally get access to, because the people in this room, these speakers we've brought in, I mean, we're basically 1 degree of separation from everyone.
100%.
Just by the people who are going to be in this room. And it's going to be small enough that everybody gets that time to cultivate connections, opportunities, and relationships.
100%. And that's the only way to do it as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. I love it. Well, thank you so, so, so much for your time, your energy, your genius. I always love spending time with you. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I always say, something to the effect of, if you've come this far to listen, why have you not pulled the trigger to complete it? You know, I always tell someone, it's kind of like saying somebody you're going to give them a birthday cake, but you give them all the ingredients and then you go, I just didn't bake it. You know, it's like, well, then you didn't give me a cake then, did you? You gave me a bunch of ingredients. The cake only has value once it's baked. Likewise, sitting and doing anything other than going all the way through, you don't end up with a cake. And if you want a cake, you're going to have to take the extra step. And it's going to take time. It's going to take energy. It's going to take money. It's going to suck. Yep. You're going to have to interact with human beings. Yep. But the outcome is amazing. And at this point in time, more than ever, everyone should be doing it. Because I tell you what, we have a recession either here or coming. And whatever way you want to look at it, winter is coming. The bad times are ahead or already on us. And for some people, that's going to mean starvation. That's going to mean loss. That's going to mean hardships. And for others, like Stacey Rasky and myself, it means Christmas. So if you want to get lots and lots of presents and for Santa to come and tell you that you've been, you know, a good girl or a naughty girl, I'm just saying, you know, you gotta hang out with the right people. I'm gonna
be in the right room.
Yeah, I'm gonna be partying it all winter in the right room.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for your time and your energy, as I said. And for those of you, yes, for those of you who are watching, if you have not gotten your ticket yet, you are crazy because seats are limited. We are keeping it this intimate, small space. So head on over to beinfluential.com/summit and grab your tickets. You are not going to want to miss this. And I highly encourage, if you want the extra, more intimate time with the VIP dinners, the maybe not, hint, a private dinner cruise on a yacht in the Tampa Bay, maybe, I don't know. Just throwing that out there. There's some options that are going to be getting added to this amazing event. So head on over and grab your tickets right away. For those of you who are hanging out, thank you. And remember, as always, you are enough. Go grab your tickets.
Wise words of Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try.
There is no try.
There is no try.
Thank you for that. The Yodaisms.
You're welcome.